Hello everyone, Pavel Bosovik here presenting the all-new VX by 27North. We're going to start with a detailed walkthrough of the outside, preceded by a detailed walkthrough of the inside. Before we start, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for following along, supporting our journey. Thank you for being loyal customers, supportive followers, and just altogether amazing human beings. We could not have accomplished what we have accomplished to this day without your support. If you have not yet subscribed and followed our channel, it'd mean the world to us if you could. And so we're gonna dive right into it. First and foremost, I have to cover the adventure skin paneling. I marvel how so many manufacturers out there today still leave the panels covered or uncovered. Too many times I'm in these forums and I'm just looking at customers that have been on the road for less than a year and their vans are faded. I see people taking blowtorches and rattle cans to the paneling, and it's so disappointing, and that's something that we take pride here at 27North. Every single component as we walk around the van, from the mud flaps, the transition pieces, the front bumper, the grille, which originally comes chrome and starts to flake, and the bumper that starts to fade, and all the rock chips, and you invest $250,000 into your dream, into your future, into your retirement or your early retirement. Not to be protected is disappointing, and so that's something that really stands out. In addition, it's not just from the outside. So if you look at our factory tour video, we actually remove every single panel. There's almost 50 components that we remove: the fog light covers, the rear bumper, the rear mud flaps, and we spray it all the way around the front and into the back, so it never peels, it never cracks on you. And 10 years down the road, you just pressure wash it and it restores to its original condition. Another neat thing is it does have a healing or self-recovery factor to it. So if you get some branches, some scratches, you park it in the sun and it'll actually self-heal itself. Moving on to the wheels and tires, we have the upgrade all-terrain tires. What's neat about our BF Goodrich tires is not only are they quiet on the highway, you are able to go on that dirt road, on that off-road trail. I don't know if you've seen on our Instagram. If you haven't, go to the 27North on our Instagram page and you'll see what our customers have done. Also, I've done some pretty gnarly off-roads as well. And so you can go and you can climb some of those trails. You can get in some of that mud. You can get some of that snow without having to swap out your tires seasonally. We do also offer highway tires and mud tires. So if you're going to do a little more aggressive off-roading, we have that option. Or if you just enjoy driving on the pavement and staying in RV parks, we do have highway tires. For the suspension, we do the Super Spring upgrade suspension. That not only gives you a more stable ride on the road, it also gives you a really comfortable ride off the road. You can see here, this VX is fully equipped with the Adventure Package. And so what the Adventure Package offers is the ditch lights. We partnered with Rough Country. They have a really cool accessory package that comes for and is really popular in the Jeep world. So if you have a Jeep, or if you've off-road on the Jeep world or overlanding, you're familiar with this brand. These are really bright. If you haven't been on our Facebook page, the 27North, you can see on there we recently posted a video on the difference between just driving on high beams and when you turn on all your off-roading lights. I want to say it's about a 20-factor multiplier of how much more ambient lighting that you get. You also have the LED bar on the top. It's a 50-inch curved bar that is a dual stripe, so you have two rows of LEDs, 50 inches wide, so it goes from one side of the van to the other side of the van, and that gives a lot of supplementary lighting. In addition to that, you have the bar here on the front. It too has a cover. You give it a good push in the middle, and then it comes right off like that. I recommend keeping the covers on whenever you're traveling so that the rock chips don't get into it. I only take it off when I'm off-roading. However, if you're driving through a mountain pass at night, you can take it off as well. Just make sure you turn it off on oncoming traffic because you will get a ticket. Here you can see we have the skid plate bumper. So the skid plate bumper comes with not only a bull bar, if you ever push through some branches, or if you ever do some off-roading and there's some small trees that you got to plow through, that is there for the protection of the bumper and the radiator, along with the skid plate that goes well underneath to protect your oil pan and then protect your AC condenser. You can see here that we carry through the OEM sensors, so it's all compliant with Mercedes. You have the full 3D, full 360 lighting. It does look like 3D or high definition because of the features. So you got cameras that go completely around. Moving on to the side here, you can see the camera there, and then the cameras on the side and the cameras in the back. It's really nice whenever you have to park in a tight spot, if you're gonna camp out at Target or your grandchildren's driveway, when you're pulling in and pulling out, to have that 360 camera lighting. You'll see that all of our vans come with the updated high definition, high performance Mercedes OEM LED lights, so you don't have to upgrade them. In addition, you'll see our side steps. These are the side steps I talk about in all our videos. Traditionally, you'll see RV manufacturers do like fiberglass and plastics. That is a no-go, because the first time you hit a gravel strip of road, whether it's going down, you know, a Harvest Host campsite or a national park, that gravel shoots up from your tires and destroys your skirt. And so we do here true overlanding side steps. The beauty of these powder coated side steps is anytime they're muddy, anytime they're snowy, anytime they're dirty, you just come here, give it a couple of good taps, it all falls off, and then it's got a lot of grip. Versus a traditional step where you risk slipping and falling, this one has a really good traction to it. Over here, you'll see your gray water tank. It is a 20-gallon gray water tank. It's heated to protect it from the cold elements. And then you also have the ability to manually open it or press a button to open it. For the gray water tank, if you're gonna do extremely cold climates, I recommend either the full skirt wrap, that way it's protected, or dry camping. The way that I do dry camping whenever doing extremely cold temperatures is we do the portable toilet, which is standard on this van, unless you upgrade to the fixed toilet. And in addition, for water, there's a really cool setup that if you visit our website, the27north.com, on our accessory page, you'll see there's a portable sink setup. So if you're gonna go do like an Arctic Circle tour, you can take this rig without having to bring the whole skirt to protect your gray water valve from freezing up so that you can empty it. Another option is, if you're really mindful in the cold temperatures, once your gray tank fills up, you can go to like a truck wash and then hose it down, dump your gray tank, and then get back on the road. That's kind of the only limitation of extremely cold temperatures, is the valve is a freezing point. So be mindful of that as you're doing these cold temperatures this winter and or any winter in the future. Continuing on the rooftop, we do have a solar panel. So standard, it comes with one 170 watt, 75 watt solar panel. And then we have the roof rack in the back. We can add up to 3 solar panels. So if solar is important to you, you can add up to 3 solar panels. In addition, what I prefer is whenever I'm off-roading, especially using a black van or a black truck, I bring the solar blanket. So whenever I'm traveling, I bring 2 400-watt solar blankets. So I'll park in the shade. That way the sun is not scorching down on me and my family. And then I pull out 2 solar blankets. They're 400 watts each. I put them out in the sun, and then it just plugs into the back bumper here. And that way you have an additional 800 watts of solar in the sun, and you can stay in the shade where you're safe and protected from the rays of the sun. Next, you'll see our famous water fill. So here behind this locked compartment, you have your city water hookup. So if you're standing at your kid's home or your home, you can actually hook up your hose here, bypass the water pump, and have full pressure in your rig. Make sure if you're using a traditional water faucet, the pressures vary. And so you can go on Amazon or visit a local camping store, or go on our website, the27north.com, and you could buy pressure valve, which I recommend hooking up to the hose and hooking up here so that you don't damage any of your water systems on the interior. To the left of it is your water fill. You can, if you're going for like long periods of time off-roading, you can get like a portable water tank that mounts really well on the back panel that I'll show you here in a moment, or you can actually put it inside. So you can bring supplementary water. Standard, it comes with a 30-gallon fresh water tank, but if you want to bring additional water, you can bring a water jug and you can fill it here from this side, or a truck stop, camping site. A lot of the places in Harvest Host have hoses available for free water. You can fill it up here. It has a smart plug. The cool thing with the smart plug is not only is it a lot easier to clip on and clip off versus the traditional ones where you had to screw on, it does have a surge protector and a reverse polarity test in it. That way, if you do hook up to the wrong campsite, it doesn't short out and melt your van or burn your van. It does come with a power cable, so a $150 power cable is included with your van, along with a hose for your water, so that you can get into your adventure van and go to your first adventure and not to the store to buy all these basic amenities that need to come with your rig. Back here we have our spare tire. The spare tire mounted to a ladder mount. So the neat thing here is you got your first step here, your second step there. You can use this as a handle and you can climb up onto your roof if you have to clean your solar panels, or we also offer a really cool box that you can put up top. It is a kind of an all-season protected from the elements storage box. If you go onto our Facebook adventure group page, you'll see Mark Glasser, one of our top brand ambassadors. He has one in his. You also see Steven and a couple others, Scott, who have this storage box on top of the roof rack. It works really nice because if you're bringing like seasonal stuff or a recovery package or an extra jack or leveling block, stuff that's kind of muddy, dirty, you don't want to put in the inside of your van, you can put it up there, and that's the ladder that you use. Another cool feature is we can add a supplementary ladder there. The ladder itself is about $750, $800 just in parts, and it's another ladder. So if you're seeing yourself frequently going on your roof, you like to camp out there, you like to put a lawn chair and enjoy sunset, I do recommend opting in and adding the supplementary ladder there on the side. Here you have a lock. A lot of times people ask, hey, you know, what do we do to protect our tire, spare tire, for being stolen? There's a really cool lock here. You can either go on Amazon or flatvanlinecompany.com, and there's a nice lock that you can get for there. Moving on to the back, like all of our adventure vans, the VX does come with a tow package. I recommend no more than 5,000 pounds, and honestly, you got to keep the minimalist mindset. Don't tow a big old cargo trailer with you. I recommend a bike rack, or there's also a really cool storage rack. It's used for golf carts, but it gives you like an additional outdoor garage, and then you just get a really cool cargo net that you can tie down all of your cool adventure stuff to it. Also, if you're bringing like motorcycles, or if you want to bring a go-kart, if you want to bring a little motorized scooter or mopeds are really fun. There's all sorts of racks that go there. You can connect with our sales team by emailing sales@the27north.com, or you can Google the27north, and we have an AI bot there that you can connect with, and it'll send you links to all these cool accessories. On the passenger side door, the VX does standard come without any accessories, but it's a blank canvas. So here we can get really creative. We can upgrade your hinges and do our famous Molly panel. We can do storage racks, we can do bike racks. So that's kind of up to your creativity and tailored to your adventure. So wherever the adventure may take, we'd love to connect with you and custom design this side of the van for you. Continuing on the back side here, you'll see the additional LED lighting with your backup camera. Again, these lights are so powerful. I remember camping in southeast Missouri recently, and we went to a top mountain pass, and it was pitch dark at night. And just being able to flip on a switch in the evening whenever you go outside to break down camp or set up camp, I mean, it lights it up. It's really, really unique feature of all of our adventure vans on just really bright exterior lighting. After that, you'll see our doors. Our door panels, we removed the OEM Mercedes panels. We stuffed the doors full of insulation. I mean, every crack, crevice behind the handle, inside the handle, these doors are jam-packed with 3M Thinsulate. Then we put our own ABS skin panel. The benefit of our ABS skin panel is that not only can it handle the extreme temperature changes a lot better, it's a blank canvas as well. So you can actually attach different kind of cargo racks, different kind of netting. I've seen people attach baskets to them. I've seen people attach all sorts of accessories here. So this is literally set up like a blank canvas. Think of it when you're moving into a new home and the walls are just blank canvases for you to get creative. I've seen all sorts of My favorite is probably a paper towel holder. And so there's like a paper towel holder that you mount to here, and whenever you're sitting eating dinner, you just pull a paper towel right off the wall of your Expedition vehicle. We're gonna cover the back here, and then we're gonna go inside and cover a couple more details. In here, you'll see that we have two options. These are the aluminum cabinet package. You can upgrade and do the aluminum cabinets, or you can do our traditional birch cabinetry. Honestly, it's a personal preference. The aluminum, while it's a lot lightweight and kind of self-explanatory being aluminum, it is a little bit on the louder side versus the traditional birch cabinetry. You have that more of a home feeling with the smell and the aromas of woods. I don't think I have a personal preference. I've camped and used frequently both options. It kind of just depends how often, what use you're having to really make a good decision. We do carry here in the back, you have a full bed. So this is over 80 inches long, so it can comfortably sleep 2 adults or an entire family. Another unique thing about the VX is you can do the platform bed. So if you're gonna camp, let's say with 3-4 kiddos with you, we do have an option for a platform bed that creates this back area into bunk beds. And the unique thing back here, we have cloth cabinetry, and so they are removable. So if you don't need that extra cabinetry, you can remove it. If you need additional cabinetry, you can add more cabinets up there. They are plug and play components available both on our website and our vendor supplier's website. And then you'll see through there, you have all sorts of cool pockets, zippers, hooks, and it's like, I would compare it to like a cargo fishing box where you have a lot of really cool little compartments that you can store stuff in versus a traditional cabinet where it's just 2 doors and an empty space. We do carry our high dense cushions, so if you're a traditional or an average camper, you don't need to bring supplementary memory foam. You can comfortably sleep on these cushions. The 2 back cushions will go on the tables drop, and then you have a nice king size bed back here. Moving on to the passenger side, a couple more unique features before we transition onto the inside is the passenger door is a power door. So you just pull the handle or press the button and the door will open and close. In addition, you have a full 10-foot electric awning. So you press a button, that awning comes completely out. It does have 2 legs built in, so if you're somewhere windy or you're wanting to leave it open overnight, I do recommend to bring out the 2 adjustable legs, adjust the height to your comfort, and then stake it into the ground. That way, if it gets windy at night, it's not going to tear off your awning. And then lastly is the bug screen here. The bug screen is magnetic and zipper, so you can drop it and use the zipper to get in and out, or you can use the magnetic strip in the middle. You push it aside, you walk in, and then it claps back together. You'll see here as we move on to the inside, we do have our RVIA Gold Seal badge. That's something we also take pride in here, is all of our units are RVIA certified, allowing you to take out not only a cost-effective loan for up to 20 years, but you can also hold its resale value and make the insurance process a lot more streamlined. Now let's jump onto the inside and see the all-new VX floor plan layout. First things first, you asked, 27 North delivered. Here you'll see we have the handle. So you now have a nice grab handle to get in and out of your adventure van. In addition, a lot of our friends, family, and loyal customers from around the world asked for a hook for their friendly pets that come with them. So now we do have a friendly hook. This one is really unique because it's on the inside, so it's not going to get damaged by the climates, and it goes right under your bug screen. If you do want an exterior one, we do offer an option to mount one to your side step so that you have one on the exterior. But like I said, the exterior ones really get damaged by the different terrains and then muddy and dirty, and so we placed one on the inside for you. This is also really nice. If you use this entry area as a storage, you can use a bungee cable or a cargo net to strap down this space here. We have this new side step that came out on our 2026 models. It's got a nice area there for some shoes or dirty laundry. I use it for my dirty socks. They go in there and then your shoes go here, but it's kind of an empty space that you can utilize. We have 2 different sizes of fridges. So we have our traditional Dometic 12-volt refrigerator freezer. This one's been our most popular fridge. We also offer the upgrade option where you lose the drawer and you get a full fridge here. On the back side here, we do offer an option for a flip-up table. So if you see yourself using the flip-up table and it's not getting in the way of your net, that is an option too. You can just check it on your order form. whenever you're placing an order at a dealership near you. In addition, you'll see here on this layout, you have your aluminum drawer. Look how wide that opens, and it's all aluminum. In here, you will see your portable induction cooktop. So the reason we went with the portable cooktop moving forward on all of our models is because we've had an overwhelming support and feedback from our end users stating that they love cooking outside. And I sat and thought about it. I'm like, wow, every time I've gone camping, I actually do cook outside. And so this is really nice because you can plug it into your outlet on the exterior, and whenever you're frying, you're grilling, or doing any kind of, even like bacon and eggs, that creates a lot of oil splatter, a lot of steam, a lot of smoke. You keep that on the outside of your van. And so that stores in here really nicely, and still, as you can see here, it leaves a lot of space. And then look at how this latches. The handle is nice and long and linear, so you can grab it at any point and open your drawer, and then it clicks shut so you don't have to worry about it opening when you're traveling. We do continue to carry our plyboot countertops. The unique thing about the plyboot countertops is the way it's made. It doesn't warp, it doesn't crack, and then you can take some natural butcher block oil and just reseal it 2 to 3 times a year, and it gives you that fresh, really clean look. You also have the option to opt in for the Corian countertop if that's something that is important to you. Before we continue working, you'll see here, you do have your diesel heater with your controller here. The seats on both sides swivel and lock into place. Here you can see I'm 6 foot and I can sit pretty comfortable. My feet reach the ground. You do have the option to add an additional Laguna table mount here. It comes already ready to go for you, so that all you need to do is a plug and play component if you do decide to add a secondary Laguna table. The driver's seat does swivel as well. And then this area here is the unique new bench seat that we offer. It's a 2-person bench seat. All these levers are not there for show. This does fold out into a nice bed. So if you have a couple extra passengers and you don't want the bunk bed in the back, this does create into a bed here for you. You'll see there, all of our outlets moving forward on the 26-year model are USB, USB-C, and then your traditional 120-volt plug-in. These swivel seats are so much fun to ride. Don't recommend to do this while you're driving, but I'm gonna keep it unlocked so that I can show you the front and still remain eye contact with you. Moving on to the front, on the base of your seat, you'll have your famous 27North badge telling you what number adventure seeker you are, in addition to important information to your adventure van. Here we have a secondary badge that shows you your height and length. That way, if you're going into a small town or a parking garage while you're out and about exploring, keep in mind your measurements are here. The unique thing about the 170 is it's only really like the unique thing about the 170 van is that it's 25 feet long. And whenever you look at the price point, it's the same price as a 144 inch, but you have an additional almost 3 feet of not only the living space, but all sorts of accessories. And whenever you put them side by side, there's really nothing that limits it. If you look at the wheelbase of the 144 versus the 170, you're just a little over 2 feet longer of a wheelbase, but you're still able to make all those turns. You're still able to park in parking lots. You're still able to park in driveways. You'll see here, this does have all the unique Mercedes features. So not only do you have power seats that recline and slide forward and backwards, up and down, I think it's like 12 different points of adjustments. All of your buttons and controls are here in the steering wheel. This is my favorite part, I think, of a new vehicle is pulling off or peeling the film that protects all your buttons, but it is touchscreen. So you can adjust it similar to your iPhone, volume, adaptive cruise control, crash control, lane assist, and all the other safety features of Mercedes are here. Along the bottom side here where your right foot or right kneecap would be, you have all of your lights nicely labeled for you so that it's accessible for you as you're traveling. If the blue lights bother you when you're sleeping in the evening, a little hack that I recommend is you just take a Sharpie and you take a Sharpie over that blue light and tints it to where you can almost not see it. I wouldn't do anything more than a Sharpie so that when you're driving in the evening and you kind of lean over, you can see where your buttons are without having to turn on the interior lights. Here you have all of your lights, an extra shelf. Another cool accessory that I also recommend whenever you spec out your adventure VX is the rack here. So the only time I wouldn't recommend is if you're over 6 feet because you're constantly hit your head. But if you're under 6 feet, there's a really cool aluminum rack that goes here. It mounts to your original mounting points, and it comes with a thermal curtain so that if you're staying for 2-3 nights out and about, you can close this thermal curtain instead of setting up the protectors that come through here. If you don't do the thermal curtain with the shelf above your head, your van does come equipped with thermal window covers. So the window covers will go on the passenger and driver door, and then of course your windshield. Another unique feature, my dad says this is his favorite feature. Him and mom are actually on the road right now in one of our adventure vans, is the rear view mirror camera. The unique thing with the rear view mirror camera is not only is it a glass or a mirror where you can see in the back what your passengers are doing, maybe you forgot some glass on the countertop, but it's actually a camera that remains live. Here on the bottom, you can adjust the zoom, the angle, and the brightness. Whenever I'm traveling in the evening, I set the brightness on the lowest setting so it's not a distraction to me. And then for zoom, I zoom out all the way so that I can see everything going on in the back. That kind of concludes the front. There's a lot of really cool features here. I think it would take me an hour to go through all the heated seats, the memory of the seats, the adjustments of all the cool cup holders and climate control vents. You have of course, your storage compartments here on the front with USB and USB outlets there. Question I get asked a lot is, well, when you plug it in, how do you close it? If you go on our adventure van page, 27North Adventures, you'll see Rock and Kish, two of our really cool customers out there. They found a really cool accessory that locks this halfway with a cable management. So if you're putting a lot of different, like a RAM mount, your phone, and mounting a lot of cool accessories, there is an accessory here that half locks this for you with slots for all your cables. And you can see here you have 3 standard cable plugs and then an AUX. So if you want to run a custom 12-volt outlet, you can do a 4th option there without getting a splitter or divider. Look at how comfortable this bench seat. Not only does it make into a bed, if you're traveling for long periods of time, you have a really cool table, you have DOT approved seat belts, and the ability to recline. And look how nice this reclines. This is not your average airport airplane seat. This seat reclines far more. I compare it to first class or business class, because whenever you're traveling, you don't want your kids in the back. That's very unsafe. Versus here, you can strap in your kids with this 3-point seat belt, and then you can recline and they can comfortably sleep here. On the side here, you do have our famous aluminum walls. So not only do you have aluminum walls, you have aluminum ceilings. And if you remember, the benefit of these aluminum walls is not only does it have a center core that is not aluminum, but a really strong thermal barrier, but remember, it doesn't stain, it doesn't absorb odors, it won't fade. And so traditionally when you're in an RV and you have those cloth walls, they're absorbing the odors, they're fading, they're staining, they're holding hairs to them. And as you're traveling, your body emits odors, your pets emit odors. When you're cooking, there's odors. And traditionally, your adventure van, after about a month or even a couple of weeks, you then have this foul smell inside of your van. You don't have that with the 27North adventure vans. Here you take a Clorox wipe or some baby wipes, you wipe down your walls. One of my good friends is currently full-time on the road with his 2 daughters, and I'll put a video clip in here of she Sharpied and drew all over the walls and the windows and these white markers, and he just took some Clorox wipes, wiped it down after her, and it's like a whiteboard. You have also built-in shades here, so if you are sleeping, you can close the shades and rest. And there is an option if you want an additional sliding window here. You can do a sliding window on the driver's side. We don't do that standard because we don't want, if you're having kids or grandkids with you, to open it and have that big window to where they can throw stuff out or do anything else that is dangerous or harmful to them. Above here, you have a full cloth cabin as well. These are those nooks and pockets that I was talking about here. So here you can see a zipper. So if you want to put your passport in there and close it, you can do that. You have these nice pockets, these nice rings. I mean, the ideas and awesome things that you can do with it is endless. As we continue through our tour, you'll see here, I was mentioning earlier on the outside, look at all these cool compartments. In addition, you have access. So if you want to remove it, adjust it, zippers on zippers, it's a really good use of space. And I like this shelf space because typically when you have a big open compartment, you don't have a lot of space to really stack, and when you do, it falls. You got side pockets, under pockets. Here on this side, you have a really cool zipper, so you can pack this full with like socks or underwear. I was recently traveling with Vlad, and his wife let him use this, so he literally made an entire closet here He has like his toothbrush and all his accessories. Super cool. Moving on, we have LED lights. So we have the two famous LED strips that go the full length of your van. They are dimmable by pressing and holding the light. They will dim on and off. You have your 12-volt fan with the max airflow cover, so even if it's raining outside, you can have this open and nice air circulation and movement. The Galley cabinet, look how long this cabinet is. That's like almost 6 foot long. This is really cool because underneath the sink you have a lot of space. With a lot of space you have additional outlets, so if you're bringing like coffee makers and steamers and irons and all that jazz, it can go in here. And then if you're like bringing a pressure cooker, you got additional outlets not only up here but in here too. You have your water filtration system. You have the water system runs on the side of it, so this whole area can be filled with storage. Here you have your drying rack. In addition to your drying rack, you have a rack on the bottom of your sink. In addition to that, you have a cover, so if you ever for some reason need to fill your sink up with water to do laundry or any other reason that you need to fill it up, you are able to do that with these really cool covers. On top of that, you have this really cool bucket. This is awesome because if you're new to the adventure vehicle space, your drain hose for your sink and your shower is really small. There's no food processor in here. This is not a residential home. And so all of your kind of food and any other things that shouldn't go and clog your pipes will go in here. So after you're done doing dishes, you pull this out, you put it in your trash reservoir. If it's just food, you can go and fertilize the soil around you. And then your cover, your secondary cover to keep even bigger stuff from there. The base of your sink with extra mounts. And then of course the drying rack. The sink is neat because you have an extendable thing. So if you want to take an outdoor shower, you can take an outdoor shower in the back and in the front. So here you can wash down shoes, pets, friends, your spouse. You can hose them down before they come in. And then it does have two settings. So it's got the shower setting and the hose setting. If you're washing down your skis or your bike, you can use the hose setting. If you're wanting to take a shower, you can use the shower setting. As you can see here, we did get a little water on the countertop. It is not afraid of water or any additional moisture. Here you have drawers, a lot of drawer space. I mean, look how deep and big these are. And then just to illustrate, let's say you have a drawer open. Look how cool the aluminum cabinets are and the birch cabinets. You can go, you can kick it, you can beat it. Remember the 50-pound test that I said, the rubber mallet? If you come out to one of the shows, so we're doing the Fort Lauderdale Yacht Show, Barrett Jackson, Overland Expo, come out to any one of these shows or events and we'll give you a rubber mallet and we'll let you go and hit the different parts. Don't do this to our competitors. It will break, damage, and probably tear off the cabinets from the roof, but you can do it on a 27North product. Here you have your central control model. The cool thing with our new central control model made by EcoFlow is there is an actual app. So you can download the app and control your accessories from your app or here. Here it's all labeled, it's all here. You can see we're using power and bringing in power. Next to that, you have your awning control. Next to it, you have your gray water sensor gauge and your fresh water sensor gauge, your exterior lights, and then your water pump, which can also be controlled from your central screen. A lot of our customers say they love the traditional buttons because if you're washing and your hands are dirty and you want to turn off your water pump, instead of going and fumbling on the screen or here, without even looking, boom, you press the button, it's there. It's accessible, it's easy to use. So you kind of have that dual option of whatever suits your travels better. You have the fire extinguisher, or you have the smoke alarm here and the carbon monoxide alarm there on the bottom to keep you safe wherever your road may take you. Next, we have our microwave. We do use a really cool microwave that doesn't take as much as power as a traditional microwave. There is the option, if you don't use or want the microwave, this can be made into additional storage instead of the microwave. On the driver's side here, you do have your portable toilet. It does mount to the bottom rail to keep it from bouncing around when you're traveling. The neat thing here is you can put water in here and then it's got a manual pump, so it does flush. It's not like a traditional, just a bucket. It's an actual portable toilet. This is really nice because if you're out there in the woods and nature, you can go outside and do your business without creating a nice, unique aroma to your entire living space. We also offer the option for a fixed toilet like our traditional adventure vans. The really cool thing is with your shower, you can have the ability to shower in here with a mount on the wall. The mount is adjustable and there's hooks. So if you want to create a drying rack in here or put some shelving, that's all options. We have the self-cleaning retractable door. This is commonly found on yachts and boats, and the reason for that is a traditional curtain, it'll mildew, it'll mold, it'll create a scent. Here it's got a really unique sponge on both sides, and whenever you put it back, it squeegees out all the water to the bottom. Moving on to the rear living space. And finally, the most important spot, the living and dining area. Back here, you have two individual Laguna tables. These Laguna tables drop down and go on these cleats with an accessory there to create a nice full king-size style bed. Why I like two separate versus one big center one is whenever you're eating dinner with your spouse or your kiddos, they're up and down walking around. And there's one table. If they bump that table, your entire dinner's splattered. Versus when you have two separate tables, you're able to eat dinner without having to worry about flipping over the dinner table. So you can move this out of the way, get up, go use the restroom, wash your hands, get some paper towels if you don't have it mounted to your back door. We do have one window in the back with the option to add a secondary window with the built-in blinds here, as well as the storage boxes. So it comes with one standard, really cool area here where we have your remotes, your fan and AC controller. You have your TV here with a release handle to adjust it. So if you're cooking up front, you can adjust the TV to while you're cooking, or if you're eating dinner and watching the Super Bowl as the Chiefs win a fourth time, you can move it here to the front. Another really cool thing back here is you do have additional storage. So here, the way the aluminum cabinets open is to the front, and then if you opt in for the birch option, it's from the top. So on your driver's side, you have all of your plumbing accessories here. And then on your passenger side, you have all your electrical components. And as we take a look inside, I want you to notice how clean and organized it is, how accessible it is, how serviceable it is. Our philosophy here at 27 North is whether you're out in the middle of nowhere or in a big city, you need to be able to access service, maintain your unit, especially if you're going like to tour Baja or you're going to do a cross-country tour through South Africa. You don't have the liberty of dismantling your cabinets to access a fuse, to access a water pipe fitting. So the way we designed and built our vans is around you, the explorer, making sure they have access to every single component in the event that you have to service it or upgrade it. On the passenger side, you'll take a look at our electrical box. The unique thing here is this is all open storage area with access to your fuses and panels here. And then on this side, you have access to your inverter and then your battery pack. And just look how clean and organized, how well the cables are managed. The neat thing on the inverter and the batteries is they all have power switches. So you flip this little button up and you can turn on and off your inverter here. If you want to add a battery, you pull this up, you plug in your next battery. It's got a nice little cover for it. If you want to swap out a battery, if you want to add another cable, there's over 16 outlets and plugs for you to be able to add as many accessories as you want. If you're going to do some extreme off-roading and 2 batteries is not enough, we can go up to 4 batteries here, giving you over 20 kilowatt hours of power. And to wrap up this amazing tour, I wanted to point out a few more things that are really special and unique to me. First being the floor. So our floor is a poly material. It's a, think of it like a sandwich panel on the base of a refrigerator truck, covered with this really rugged garage material. So you can literally drive a forklift on this floor. You can spill water on it. You can walk in muddy boots. You can drop your boots in here, your skis, your bikes, and it's not going to destroy your floor. Another unique thing that is very important to me, coming from an automotive construction background, is accessibility to the OEM features. So in the back here, we have these custom molded proprietary panels that mount to the OEM bolt hole. So if you need to access your tail lights, your backup camera, your locks, you just remove these OEM bolts and these covers come off. They're also wrapped in this really nice material. It's a very tight material. That way it continues not only the aesthetics of it, but that insulation thermal barrier rating, as well as not absorbing any odors to it. And then that philosophy is continued on the sliding door as well. If you look above the sliding door, you'll see it's all molded. There's no kind of aftermarket wood accessories or pipes built into it. It's all molded to the contour of the van. That concludes our all-new 27 North VX Tour. If you'd like to learn more, you can go on our website, the27north.com, and connect with either our factory or a dealership near you. I look forward to meeting you on the road, and if you're not a part of our 27 North family yet, we'd be honored to have you join.